Saturday night. The Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay Phillips. Let's get it going, everybody. Let's start tagging it. Yes, William, Chucky. William, I hope you made it safely because I know you was going to be taking some time tonight. Calvin's here. Hello, cousin. Doc and Michael. I, cousin and Thomas. Big Baron Floss. And hello, he. Hello, Peter. Yay. Thanks to the gangster. Joey and Ricky. Just have some fun. I don't even know what that is anymore. You should.
My soul has been so. My soul is past my own comprehension. It feels like my soul is not at rest.
Well, God.
Happy. I'm sorry. I love this. Bring it all down. I love it so much.
Dante said, "Get all on the circuit." Out.
I feel you.
Keep going over there, right?
No, that's where you do this. Exactly. Because we got 30 seconds.
Like I told you, Duty.
My soul is not good.
Everybody. We're getting ready to go. Shut up for me. Hey, Floss. Hey, Jamaica. Hey, TA. Hey, Hector. Here we go, guys. Good evening and welcome to the Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay Phillips here on YikesRadio.com. Now you know on the Poetry of Justice show, what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity ranging from arts, entertainment, and social justice at large, leaving our listeners thinking and saying, ladies, yikes! YikesRadio.com. Now, guys, those are the sultry sounds of my mentor, the Mr. Kevin Nash. Now, you know Mr. Kevin Nash is the owner of the proprietorship here at Accelerated Radio. And were it not for Kevin and his vision and his dreams and what he does, it wouldn't be a possibility for me to do what I so love to do. And then, at this point of the show, I'm going to give an amazing shout-out to my benefactor, Miss Lori G, a.k.a. Lori Ray Fisher. Now, Miss Lori... It is a yay! Lori Ray Fisher is also our executive producer here on the show. And so Lori is also the president of Gingy Productions and Entertainment Company. So that is the engine that drives the train here on the Poetry of Justice show. And then I'd like to give a special shout out to my girl, Miss Sheli C of the chat. Sheli C has been YikesRadio.com. Shelley's been rolling with me before we were on Yikes Radio. So we've been in this game a cool little minute, ladies. Every week, grinding it down to the ground. So that's a blessing. Amen. And then I'm going to go on ahead and give a shout out to 93 Point Tweed FM Spectacular Lowrider Oldies at their finest. And you can catch Tweed Cadillac, ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday nights. And so, again, that is Tweed, T-W-E-E-D, Cadillac. You can catch him on IG. You can catch him on Facebook. So you want to catch out this guy because yours truly gets to be interviewed on his show this coming Thursday, June 4th 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock if you're on the East Coast, and if you're in the Midwest, you figure it out. I'm just saying, I'm going to be interviewed on the Tweed Cadillac Show, ladies and gentlemen. And then moving the train along, I got to give a shout out to the fabulous G. Lou Show. Amazing platform that this gentleman has there. And you've got some amazing participants that roll with him. Mine, when I fell in love with the G. Lou Show, was the Sunday Nights Show. And I love it. And so what you want to do is check that out. Again, G-Lou, L-U-W, Long Beach finest, Hangsta the Gangsta, and the Queen Jean. So you want to check them out. And then, look at us, guys. We're growing. I'm going to give a shout-out to WMPJ Steelworks and APS Muscle Cars. But let me tell you guys a little bit about APS Muscle Cars, guys. APS Muscle Cars recently did an expansion. So what this guy does there, we have high-end custom vehicles. We're talking hot rods. We've got classic beauties. And also, if we've got this new storage facility, so if you have some big toys that you need to have stored away in a nice and safe facility, you want to check this guy out over in Signal Hill, California, MEMO, M-E-M-O, with APSmusclecars.com, guys. So you want to get in touch with him if you got some got some stuff going on. So we can keep going on to the break of dawn, huh, Lori G? So we're having
But I think our surprise guest has arrived.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a good time. Hey, Veronica. Hey, Rodney. Hey, Donald. Hey, Flossie. Let me get my hair right, guys. I got to make sure it's slicked down to the ground. Woo. I'm honored. Welcome. Yay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, I got to get my mind right. How are you tonight, Mr. Kev Mac?
I'm all right. Can you see me?
No, I'm devastated. Hi, guys in Facebook world. Let me get my stuff together. We're looking for you, Mr. Mac. Guys, we got Kev Mac. I didn't even get to tell y'all that part yet. This is how we're rolling on the Poetry and Justice Show. We're having a funky good time. Hello, Miguel. How you guys doing? Let me get some more. Hey, Shauna Turner. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight because we got an amazing show. We've got some amazing stuff going to be going on tonight because we've got the Kev, K-E-V, Mac. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kev Mac. And we're Dante, Kev Mac.
Joining us, guys, we have listeners. Big Tap, who's joining us all the way from New York.
We got Brooklyn in the house.
Joy, who's joining us from Inglewood.
We got Inglewood.
Yep, and our lovely Chris, who's a friend of the PFJ show, joining us from Uncle. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Oh my gosh, we really got a show out tonight. Lori, did we lose Kevin? I mean, Kev? Please forgive me. Did we lose Kev?
I think Kevin's coming back.
Okay.
I see him, but
I don't see him. I see his box. Hey, Shauna, what's up, y'all? Get it together. We got to get it together. I see my sissy, y'all. So look, this is what we're doing. We're streaming both ways. So Lori is also streaming on my page. There we go.
There he is.
Hey, now. Lori's also streaming on the page, everybody, on Facebook. So you can catch us on the Zoom. You can catch me here. We're everywhere. I'm just saying. Don't miss out, because tonight is going to go down. It's the anniversary show, guys. The 3-year anniversary show on YikesRadio.com. Again, with my mentor, the Mr. Kevin Nash. So this is an honor and a blessing that we have you tonight. I always say Mr. Kev Mac, but I don't want to say Mr. But I just respect you, so yeah. How you doing tonight, Kev?
I'm okay. That's fine. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties.
No.
That's okay. It's okay. It happens. It happens in Monday through Friday. It happens on the weekend. Okay.
Look, so I just want to let you know, Kev, who the players are, and so. You have my Lori Ray Fisher. That is my beautiful sister, Kev, and she's also the executive producer of the show. She's the benefactor of the show, and she's also president of Gingy Productions and Entertainment Company. I'm sure Lori and I will probably talk with you offline about some of those projects because tonight is more about you. But I just wanted you to have, an enriched. idea of who we are tonight, and thanking you for gracing your presence with us. So, and then you have this amazing young lady here who wears these adorable glasses. You know, that is my girl, Sheli C. Kev Mac.
Show.
Thank you.
Sheli C and I, we've known one another. Give our age. I'm not giving our ages, but I'm gonna just give you time frames. We've been rolling about 30 years now. Actually, over 30 years now. And so that's my girl, and we roll together, and we ride or die together. And so she's been with us, and we've been doing our radio show, Kev, 4 years. But we've been 3 years with Kevin Nash on his Get Down. And so Yikes Radio launched in May of 2017. And my sister and I, our show, the Poetry of Justice show, was the very first show to air on Yikes Radio. So Kev Nash has dubbed me the Queen of Yikes. And these women are with me, and this is what we do. So anyway, that's just where we are. So I just want to give a shout out. And then I had Lori. Did you want to let Kev Mac know the other players in the game?
We have listeners that are also in the Zoom room where they can send us questions. And we have listeners in New York. We got Big Tap joining us. We got Inglewood in the house with Miss Joy Michelle. And we have Chris, one of our regulars on our show. She's joining us from Long Beach. So we'll be bringing those questions in for you as more and more people join us here in our Zoom room.
Okay. I hope the questions aren't as intimidating as you three black females.
Lori, if I want to let Facebook listeners know how to go to the Zoom room, how do we get them to the Zoom room? Because like people are watching me right now, they just see me on Facebook, but I need them to be able to see what you streaming on my Facebook page. So just kind of tell them to go to my page and look. I tried. G-Lou, do me a favor. Just maybe go to my page, and I know we're also streaming. Lori's streaming us live too.
Tell G-Lou that I'm going to email him. I'm going to email him.
Lori's about to email you right now, G, and then you'll be able to see it and be on the full platform. So just hold tight. And anyone else, Lori, if anybody else wants to chime in that way, having some difficulties, what you want me to do? Is there anything I can post just for Facebook views?
I'm going to try to get that out. Yeah.
Okay, no pressure. Okay, so Sheli C, why don't you talk a little bit to Mr. Kev Mac for us and let us know. Let Kev know what's on your mind when we talk about, because we're going to talk about you, Kev, but Sheli's got she's our celebrity lady, and so she's got some things she want to talk to you about.
I have to say that I have examined your YouTube channel, and I've seen some of the work that you've done, and I want to say, what particularly drives you? I mean, I've seen some interviews with, I think there was 3 parts for the Nipsey Russell.
Hustle.
Nipsey Hussle, and I've seen you talk to Cowboy and Monster Cody, and I've seen you talk a little bit with the Rolling 60s. But I want to know what drives you. What particularly brings into light the topic that you're going to speak about, or why you chose these particular individuals to speak about on your channel. Let us know. Give us a little bit of history of that.
Really, it started out as a passion, wanting to know why we do what we do, and how different communities maneuver as opposed to the community that y'all grew up in. I met a lot of guys through my journey, through incarceration and just growing up in the streets of LA. And usually, 9 times out of 10, I usually choose people that I've heard of, so they already have some type of good rapport in the community and a good reputation in the streets, which doesn't always necessarily translate to positivity, but the fact that they have a reputable name, they're somebody that puts the line in their community, and so they have a voice and hold weight from that area. So those are the guys that I usually choose. But every now and then somebody will be suggested to me, and I've never heard of them. So I go in blind and just got to kind of fill them out.
Well, the fact that you're bringing things to light, like what made you think of doing one on prison gangs? What brought that to your forefront? Why did you pick that? I mean, I think some of your topics are very interesting, and I think that it brings to light to a lot of things that people don't normally think about. So, what made you think about like doing a segment on prison gangs?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great question.
All right.
What it was, being involved in all this. Like I said, being incarcerated, but yet it was like a secret society. Mm-hmm. So people such as myself that end up going to prison when the prison gangs didn't exist anymore, I always wanted to know, like, how, who, and why. And it was hard to get that information, but now that the prison gangs have disbanded and they're far removed from it, a lot of people that went on and became productive in their communities. Now people are willing to talk about it. So it's not like I just woke up one day and thought about it. It's something I've been wanting to know about for years. But because of the platform and because of my reputation with doing interviews and being what they call solid in the streets, I was able to obtain the information from people like Rockhead and some of the other guys that I interviewed.
I think it's wonderful that you're bringing it to the light. I mean, and what's even better is that you've experienced it and that you can bring it to people who have not, or bring awareness. Because this is, I have to admit, once I searched your channel and looked at some of your segments, I found it very interesting because there's some things that I never even thought about that you brought to light. So I have to commend you for that. But I also want to know what drives you, what makes you, every single time you do a video or a segment on YouTube, what drives you? What is in the innermost person of Kev Mac that drives you to do it?
Well, again, it's just something I had a passion for. I just wanted to know about it. But every now and then when I get discouraged or I have, my own problems, a lot of times it's the comments. Or somebody might call me and think highly of an interview. And so that's what drives me to the next one.
Well, I commend you and give you credit for that. I love it. I love that you're bringing it to the light.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Lori G?
Yes. I am trying to manage our technology.
Oh, you manage your technology? I definitely got my question.
Yeah. And we have G. Lou, who has joined us in our Zoom room.
Yay, Zoom room.
Yes. G. Lou is here.
All right. We're chugging along, everybody. So we got Andre Bell in the house to do some shout outs to Facebook real quick, if that's okay with you, Kev. So hello, Chucky. We've got Chucky Jones in the house with a shout out to you, Kev Mac. We've also got Baron Stevenson, Flossie B, Big Floss the Boss from Long Beach Finest. We're here with us tonight. And we also got a shout out to you, Kev Mac, from Tanya Russell. So she wanted to give a shout out to you. And I just wanted to take the time to reach out to this. Robbie Bass is in the house tonight, wanted me to say hello to you. And
hello, Robbie.
Lori says hello. And so, hello, cousin. Cynthia's out there tonight. So Cynthia says hi. We've got our Mahid is in the house. So we've got Morocco in the house tonight too, Kev Mac. So look at that. Yeah, we did a show on, it was the 90 Day Fiancé show. And we were blessed. And when we did that show, one of the participants on the panel, I went to middle school with her. But at the end of the day, her guy's from Algeria, and he had a host of his friends tune in. So now we have Algeria, we've got Kenya, we've got Morocco, and we've got Haryana, India, like faithful followers once a week with us. So thank you again. We're just getting it out there the best way we can. So thanks again for joining us tonight. Lori G?
Yeah, so, Kev Mac, I have a couple questions for you. Like Sheli, I looked at a lot of your videos and had a lot of people kind of tell me, oh yeah, I know Kev Mac, that guy who interviews people. So I think you've been at this game for a pretty long time, haven't you?
Yeah, as far as videos, about 3.5 years. Prior to that, I had a magazine, 2005 to 2012. So I was doing interviewing in the
So, what motivates you? What has been your inspiration to be so successful, so consistent, and so dedicated with your work?
Again, I was asked that question. It's just a passion that I've always had. You know, when I was young, my brother told me, he said, if you're going to be a part of something, know the history behind it. And that just made all the sense in the world. But unfortunately, when we was coming up, it wasn't cool to ask questions because people looked at you like you was a police, like you needed this information to infiltrate the gang or to get somebody convicted of a crime. But times changed because we got older, you know, the generations, the way they operate. We're in an era of technology where the information's everywhere, so people are more open to share their information. And I'm just driven by the history and the unique perspectives everybody got.
Right. What a hashtag riots 2020. I think that's on your. Did you post that today, Kev? Hashtag riots 2020.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
Can we talk about that? What motivated that? Where in you? Where are you feeling about it?
What motivated the post, or?
Yeah.
Well, I woke up and that was the first thing I seen, and I thought it was interesting that somebody put all those clips together, and so I posted it. I don't know that rioting is the answer, but I'm not one like the majority speak out against it because people are frustrated and they don't know how to exert their frustration.
Absolutely.
And tearing up your own community is not the answer, but as it's been seen in Minnesota, a lot of those people aren't from the community that's tearing the community up. So it's kind of hard to understand when some people are just trolling us and trying to be funny or make fun of us and belittle us, or when they're serious, because there's so much misinformation on the internet nowadays.
I agree.
Yeah, people just say anything and repost anything, and so it's hard to really believe that. You have to do your own research. You see a video like me. Yeah, but my feeling is that either way you look at it, whatever side of the fence you're on, peaceful protests don't get us anywhere. Right. And the guy that was killed in Minneapolis was being peaceful when he was killed. So peace isn't no more the answer than rioting is. So you know, I don't condemn.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I don't condemn either way.
I don't condone violence, but I have to admit with you, Kevin, that it doesn't get anything done. Someone put it very beautifully on an interview. A black activist put it very beautifully on an interview. What happens with our kids? Let's think about it. All of us who have kids. What happens when our kids call our name and we don't answer the first time? What happens when we don't answer the second time? They get louder. What happens when we don't even pay attention to them at all? They act up. They do crazy stuff. I need you to understand my pain.
Right.
So at the same time, I'm like you. I don't condone it, but what must we do to get you to understand? You know, what has to be done?
I tend to think that a lot of people don't even want to understand. And then I was having a conversation on my live yesterday, and me and a few people that I know, we've come to the conclusion that some people will never understand. Whether it's intentional or just because they don't come from our background and lived in our colored skin.
I get where you're coming from, Kev, but I think the fact that it's on video, that we actually saw someone die before our eyes,
Murder.
For you to be a white individual and not be affected by that bothers me. That means we're in a worse state than I thought. For you to actually view something like this, we've been telling you for years the things that have happened to Emmett, the things that have happened to the people in Ferguson, different Philando Castro. I could name them on and on. I can tell you. But the fact that you actually saw it on video, and if you are whiter than white, to see something like that and not be affected, and go in your house and kiss your dog and pay thousands of dollars to save your dog, and kiss your cat and sleep with your cat and your dog, and to see something like that, and I know this sounds crazy, but this is how I feel, to see something like that and not be affected, I have a problem with that.
Right.
But I mean, a part of I feel you, Sheli. I definitely do, and you are definitely so right. But I think what happens is a part of what Kev Mac has said, right? Is that I don't know if there's going to be a solution to that. Simply because our country that we live in was built on racism, right? Mm-hmm. And it was built on the fact that we're not human. We're 3/4. If you look at the Constitution in its original format, African American people or black people or Negroes, whatever you want to call them, they were 3/4 of a person. Mm-hmm. So that becomes perpetuated and people become desensitized to the value of a black person's life.
Mm-hmm. And that right there, Lori G, is why my soul is so uneasy. My soul cannot let it.
Right.
We have a correction from our historian here, Ms. Miko.
Hi, I want to just jump in the conversation.
Kev, my daughter say hey.
Hi, yeah. I know you guys were talking about the 3/5 compromise and like how black people were considered 3/5 of a person. It really just stems from chattel slavery with black people being considered property. So, and it also had to do with the idea of the elections and voting, and with the Senate and the House of Representatives. So because the southern states were bigger, the East Coast didn't want that for slaves to be considered people. So what they did is they said, okay, well, you guys have lots of slaves clearly because that's your economy. You're an agrarian society and you guys have lots of slaves. So it's not fair if we allow everything to be based off of representation, which is what a republic is, and that's what America is. So it all just starts from kind of the idea of that, of where white people want to be voted more. They want to be the majority all the time. So what they did is they cheapened us as people, and they made us 3/5 of a person. How they did that math, I don't know. But that's really where it stems from. They want to be the majority, and they want to be in control, and they want to control their republic any way that they know how to.
Mm-hmm. Why, thank you, my love.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. They diminish our value.
Exactly.
Right? That we have no value. Oh, wow, guys. I'm blowing up in Atlanta right now. I'm watching on CNN.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is on fire. People are running. Police shooting rubber bullets. People are throwing Molotov.
And this is in Atlanta right now?
This is in Atlanta. It's
wow.
9:26 in Atlanta.
That people are willing to take a rubber bullet, maybe even die, maybe get a rock in their head, maybe even get hit by a baton to get the message through. I'm too old for that. I can't go to jail. I can't be fighting no police. But I'm just saying, commend the young people or the people that are doing, even people our age that are doing it, because they're willing, and there has been people in the past that are willing to take injury or die for this, for the right to be able to breathe.
But that's kind of sounds like where we are though, Sheli, on the straight real. This is like where we are. It's like
intimidated because I am a 6'2" or 6'1" or 5'4" black man. For you not to be intimidated, it takes 4 of you motherfuckers to hold me down. Really?
But it turns out on that Floyd thing, they knew each other. They worked together.
Yes, they worked.
So I'm like, is there way more to this? You know what I mean?
But you know what?
Which is why you just went off and just said, fuck this. You know?
So dumb. I'm willing to even accept that you didn't even recognize him because you always think that black people look the same. I'm willing to even accept that because you're just that dumb. You're just that dumb.
Okay.
That you probably also recognize that you worked with me.
Yeah.
That's even more
insulting. Don't you think adrenaline gets involved in that too? I mean, you know,
an officer officer for 20 years that worked, and he might get me for this, but he worked for Compton PD and he worked for Rialto. And basically, when he went to Rialto, he was the advocate because he said, I don't trust my fellow white officers. I'd rather ride in a car by myself than to have a partner that's white.
Wow.
We didn't have this shit at Compton PD. So I'd rather ride by myself because I don't trust this motherfucker because he's white. Bottom line. Because he's seen some shit that wasn't right. I'm sorry if I sound angry, y'all. Sorry. I get a little emotional.
Hey guys, on Facebook we've got Timmy Neutron in the house. Hey Timmy, how you doing? Timmy says he shouts out to you, Kev Mac, but he says it's some, like these riots, they may not be as organic as they seem. I do know some understanding that some officers actually were setting some of those fires and doing some looting as well. Have you seen any of that footage, Kev Mac?
Yeah, I haven't verified any of it, but supposedly some woman said that was her husband. So that was a police officer busting out.
Yep.
But that's what I was saying too about those people that's tearing up Minneapolis. A lot of them, at least the ones that was arrested, they aren't even from Minnesota. They aren't even from the state, let alone the city.
Wow.
No, they're not. And you have to watch out. The ones with the white band on their arm, that's the reason why they don't mess because they're a part of the police officers and the undercover and the association. So they'll go and break windows. They'll go and do stuff to get people started. But basically, it reminds me of the biblical stories of where the devil lurks. So be wise when you're out there protesting that there's a snake lurking and they're trying to get you to do things to get you in trouble, to get you arrested.
Now, I have heard, and I don't know what you guys feel about this or if you believe it, that a percentage of this stuff that was happening in Indianapolis and some of the bigger cities were hate groups, anti-Semitic groups, members of the KKK, terrorist cells that were inciting people to let's gather here and let's burn this up or let's do that.
Yep.
That's crazy.
What do you guys think? Do you think that's some validity to that?
Yes, I do. I think there is, because when have we seen in any of the protests, and maybe people are tired, I don't know. I'm going to give our white protesters the benefit of the doubt, but when have we seen white protesters tired of black people dying?
No.
When have we seen them breaking windows? When have we seen them throwing fire bombs at police? When have we seen them throwing bottles at police? When have we ever seen that?
No.
I'm just asking.
What do you think?
When have we ever seen that? So where all of a sudden have you come from?
Yeah.
And not to discredit those people who really feel, because I also feel that there needs to be some white people that roll up, because racism isn't our problem. It's their problem. They need to solve that shit. So to me, where have we seen this before?
Right.
Are people stepping up? Are Caucasian people, Asian people, or whoever, are they stepping up on our behalf? Or are they trying to create a race war?
That's what I'm saying.
As a deterrent to get us more into trouble, to make things even worse.
Right. And in the midst of the pandemic.
Because I still can't trust you.
No.
I still can't trust you. What are you doing?
Guys, I have a caller.
Yay!
Go ahead, Ron.
Is the best, the Queen, Lori G, that part. Sheli, how's everybody doing?
Hey, Roddy Rod.
Yeah.
How you
What's
doing?
up, partner?
How are you doing tonight, Mr. Roderick Hoy? We've got Kev Mac in the house. How you doing, Roddy?
Yeah, I said, what's up, Kev? That's wonderful. I am excited to see you guys. I like the little format, like Tanya said too, Russell.
Okay.
But
Hey, cousin.
that made me sick. That made me sick. What happened to George Floyd? I actually was listening to people when I saw the video myself, footage,
horrifying.
Yeah, horrifying.
Yeah, and I wrote some stuff, check my page, but like I said, this shouldn't happen to a dog or a cat. That shouldn't happen to a dog or cat. And like until this must be terminated today. It must not be tomorrow or nothing like that, or they're gonna just do it again. Because this affects every black man, woman, and child. And like I say, if a bird, if a sparrow, it goes out in the middle of the street, you can believe the mother sparrow is coming right behind it. And like I say, ain't no more about I can't breathe and all that crap. That's just me, y'all. I love my black people. I'm not no terrorist, but I feel they should be stood and the fire squad and shot. You know what I'm saying? I don't promote violence and the old commandments about eye for eye, tooth for tooth. But no, it must be justified that this can no longer happen.
Yeah. I agree with you, Ron.
I love you guys. Y'all go with it. And everybody, I love you guys. You're a big brother. I appreciate you. And Jack, you guys got it going on.
I love you. Thank you, Rod, so much.
Thank you.
I'm for the state.
All right.
We lost Rod. Hey, Rod, we're sorry we lost you. I have another guest who wants to join our panel tonight, guys. She's in our Zoom room. We are going to add Miss Joylyn Simmons to have a couple words with us tonight.
Hey, Joy.
In light of Joylyn joining us, there's a question. Someone named Chris posed to Kev Mac, actually. She said, Kev Mac, if you could interview Trump in your style of interview, what questions would you ask Trump?
That's awesome.
That's tough.
Take your time, brother. Take
I
your
know.
time.
Because,
What two questions would you ask him?
because it's only two questions in the style that I interview, that makes it tough. But I mean, the most probably stupidest question I would ask him would be, why do he
No
lie?
stupid question.
He just lies. He just
Oh my God.
repeatedly lies. And then he denies that he even said what he said, even though it's on camera. Just the fact that you said my style, of course I would ask about his parents' background. That would be real interesting, even for him to admit that they're immigrants and him talk about, what type of guy his father was. Because I'm sure he gets a lot of his ways from his dad.
That's a good question.
Well, I think that because you're not raised in the product of the majority of the people that live in the United States, how can you leave in the United States? Secondly, if you are a businessman who is always trying to make money and is cognizant of the economy, how can you leave the United States, care about the United States, or even be a president?
So you would do a lot better than I would. But again, I would ask those same questions. But again, when she said my style, usually I get background of the parents and where they came from. Try to get the psychological aspects.
So, Kev, have you done any research on Trump? Just curious. I'm not saying that you were supposed to, because I wouldn't waste my time on that fool either. But did you look on the background of Trump, or have you done any of that just to kind of see why he say the stupid shit he say? I'm sorry, I'm gonna get in trouble probably, but I just want to know: have you done any? And if you haven't, I wouldn't waste my time on that fool either. But I just want to know: I'm just curious.
No, Sheli, and you already answered the question. I wouldn't even waste my time.
Love it. Just was wondering because I wouldn't waste my goddamn time.
He's so
Hey,
crazy.
Miss Joy, do you want to join the discussion?
Hey, Joy.
Hello.
You not gonna let us see you, Mama?
Yes, you guys can see me.
That is a good thing. Joy. Lori, tell Kev who Joy is, Lori.
It doesn't give me the option to use the camera.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay, maybe from the Zoom room we can just hear your voice.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine.
Yeah. Well, Kev Mac, this is my goddaughter, Joy, and she works in health. And so she has got a great broad overview of what's happening in terms of our community. And we're happy that she's going to join us and kind of add in on this discussion. What are your thoughts about what's happening with the riots and the protests, Joy?
I am very speechless about what's going on. My emotions are all over the place.
Yeah.
1 minute, I am very furious of what's going on. Another moment, I want to be peaceful about the situation. But at the end of the day, I feel like that something besides everyone being heard about what's being done to the African American community, not just in police brutality, but what we do with ourselves, because we still have the issue with gang-on-gang killings. There must be some type of policy being made. I feel like if there's a policy with us African Americans regarding our hair, because it's our culture, I think there could be something else done regarding police brutality, and not just for African Americans in general, because they won't just make it just for us. I feel like some type of policy to hold them accountable as a first responder.
Absolutely.
I love it, Joy.
Joy, what have you seen? Because I know you're working in public health, and have you seen what have you seen differently after this? I know with COVID, I know it's been massive. So with COVID now compounded with these riots and protests, how have things changed there where you are?
It's changed a lot. I mean, just dealing with being a first responder as well, just trying to not only deal with the community, but deal with the mental aspect of yourself. And also just what I see right now is you have people coming out of quarantine. You know, they're angry, they're mad, they can't get tests, they don't have resources. Some people are doing well, you know, because they're still working, or some people are doing well because they're on unemployment, and you have some who are just in between. And so now all of a sudden you have this situation that happens, and so it's like you have the quarantine, then you have frustration, and all of a sudden you have like this huge explosion that's happening right now. So the changes are, what I'm seeing now is just everything that was so quiet kept is being spoken.
Okay.
Through, not just through a megaphone, but it's just like people are really just out there using physically all they can to say, hey, not only have we been struggling with police brutality, but we've been struggling in our communities with resources, with food, with, you know, the help. We have all these policies and laws that can help us, but yet there's no one there to actually help us. So I think with just the quarantine kind of giving an uproar of a lot of things in the minority, and then you have this police brutality that seemed like it's targeted towards the minority, it's just like a huge change that was never seen correctly, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Joy.
Absolutely. It does, Joy. Yes, it does.
What does Chris say?
Chris from our Zoom room says, just think about all the times this has happened through the years. Until we as Black folk come together and do something radical, like not respond to what is going on, show no emotion. Yes, it will be hard, but that's where you know you are in Christ. We are the light, and they know it. This is simply a distraction. What do you all think about that? Is this a distraction?
A distraction. Ask Chris if she could kind of extrapolate on just kind of a distraction in what regard. If she could just take it a little deeper for me spiritually, if she can.
Okay, Chris, you're listening to us, so let us know. You mean a distraction how? I'm going to turn on your mic, Chris. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Hey, tell me, good boy.
Chris?
Yeah, people fed up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
hey,
we can
Chris.
hear you now.
Hi. How are
We're great, and you, Chris? Thank you.
You know, so distraction, like there's something bigger going on. We just can't, totally, we know it's spiritual warfare going on. We can't see, but the people who we can't see in the natural, the ones that's up in the back that's causing all this havoc, they're trying to keep us blind to something, and that's our own self. They just trying to from our own self. Once you wake up to know who you are, you'll look at them like they think they're doing something. You wouldn't even pay attention or even give them a notice to nothing what they're doing.
How do you? I'm sorry.
The riots and stuff. Like the people that's doing these riots and stuff. Even yes, we are angry, or we're whatever emotion that you have because of what's going on. We all have brothers, sons. We all can relate to that happened to somebody who we know, see, look like us.
Right.
So of course it's going to be hard. But when you know who you are and you look at that like, you know what, they gone to a better place. Just because that person did that, they the ones got to deal with that. Because that was him. He did it. The white guy, he did it. Him and his folk did that. And that is very hard to do when you're trying to, not pay attention or not look at that's happening like that. It's hard it's really real radical to not show no emotion. When Nipsey Hussle, when he passed away, his mom, when she spoke, she didn't show no emotion. She said what she had to say and she left it like that. And that was her son. Mm-hmm. And I said, she know exactly what she's talking about. Is when you don't show no emotion. If all the white people was out there riding, let all of them do all the riding on their own self. Mm-hmm. Not one black folks should be out there riding. But that's what they want to see. That's what the government, those people back in the dark, in the booth, in the cover somewhere back there, that's what they want to see. Oh, let's see if they still lost. Look how many times it happened, and look through the years in increments how it happens. Mm-hmm. 2 or 3 years, and then 2 or 3, then years, because they keep in tabs. They want to see who still lost.
Right.
That's it.
What do you think about that, Kev Mac?
I would say do not be distracted. I do believe there's something bigger going on that we're unaware of, but at this point it's just a gut feeling, speculation. Mm-hmm. Because if we could prove it, we would tell you what we're being distracted from. But as far as spiritual warfare and the black community coming together, in unity, don't be distracted. If it's prayer that you seek or a higher being, you pray in your home. Or when the church is open up, pray at church. Pray with your family and your friends. If you feel like it's spiritual. If it's
I agree.
The unity amongst us blacks, like somebody just mentioned, the gang members, gang on gang crime. We shouldn't let nothing distract us from that. If it's peace we're looking for, if we're trying to come together under one agenda, we should still be able to do that if that's really what we're looking for. So I would say just do not be distracted by what's going on right now.
I definitely agree with Chris, and I agree with Kev Mac. And I understand your side of it, because actually I feel the way that you both do. But I'm not saying that this is something that I feel, but I want to speak on the behalf of people who are frustrated, people who have peacefully prayed, people who have peacefully said that this is unjust, people who have looked to attorneys to peacefully fight for them. Now they're frustrated. And I'm not saying that that is the best way to burn, to loot, and because you're frustrated. But at some point, we are all tested. And I do believe, and I have prayed many nights over this particular instance and situation. But every time, and I'm trying to not to be emotional, but every time I see that video and there is no justice, and I feel that we are becoming numb as a country to this, it brings me great sorrow. How do we address the sorrow that we feel for the man that is jogging and is hunted down and shot? How do we feel justice for the man who has a knee in his neck for 9 minutes and then is non-responsive? You don't even give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, which you would probably give your dog or your cat. And I'm being very honest, and I'm not being angry. I'm just saying, what do we do when it's to the point that we're not even treated better than animals? Because we may not have sons, but we have husbands, we have uncles, we have brothers, we have friends who have kids who are males. How do we find justice for a son that may take a trip to the store innocently, who may visit a friend innocently, and I have to pray every single time you step out the door? How do we find justice for a man who hollered for his mother for 9 fucking minutes? How do we find justice if we just peacefully say, that wasn't right? They should go to jail. Let's wait for the trial. Let's wait for them to be arrested. Let's wait for them to be put in jail. And by a long shot, let's wait for them to be put to death. When has a white man ever been put to death for killing a black person? And you know, we're not speaking on the assaults that these police officers do on our black women. We've got daughters. We've got daughters that go and visit friends. We've got daughters that go to parties. We don't speak much on the assault of our black girls. The ones who seek the education, the ones who do the right things, the ones who are trying to do the right things. We don't seek justice for that. But we're okay with a man putting his knee in a black man's neck for 9 minutes and watch him die. How is
Shelley,
that?
we have Big Tap joining us from New York City to give us a perspective from New York.
Again, I get emotional about these type of things. I'm sorry. Come on,
Hi there, Gerald.
Hey, Tap.
Hi, Lori. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure listening to you guys. Shelley's passion just really touched me.
I'm sorry. I get passionate. I'm trying to bring it down. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
No.
Say no. I just told you. You know, if I wasn't muted, you would just hear me and a friend of mine here saying hallelujah. Listen to the sister speak. You know what I mean? That made me feel good, Shelley. I know it's not really, really feel good, but you know, it's all like we're all in chain. It seemed like the ball and chain effect is coming back. I know how it feels. And it's almost like we're allowing it because we're forgiving people. There's so much good in us.
Yes.
And they are so treacherous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not really coming together good. You know, when we're good and they're treacherous, we're not. They're going to stomp us out, and things got to change. Shelley, I know. Lori, I just wanted to let you know because I know you are. You're running the show. You're doing the engineering of usually the Zoom meetings that I'm on. You can get 50 people on here. I think all your participants, if you have 50 or more, you can get everybody. Like you see how you got you 4 on video. Everybody that's talking and listening can be on video.
Absolutely. And we're willing to promote you to that if you want to come. Would you like to be a part of the panel?
No, I thought everybody, usually
Gerald?
I think he's muted. Or
I'm
actually,
trying to.
Thank you.
There you go.
That's up to you, Lori. I mean, I would love to be a part of the panelists.
Okay.
Come on,
Here you
Tap.
come. Hold on 1 minute, Tap. I'm
Have a
bringing you
Rudy's
over.
flashback.
Turn your video on.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Let me see.
There you are. Hey, Tap.
Hey,
How are
Tapper.
you? Let me
Hey,
just try
Tapper.
to-
Hey, Joy.
I'm sorry. How are you, Jackie? How are you?
I'm so good, Tap. I love you.
I wanted to say what's up to the brother that was what's the brother's name? I'm sorry.
Kev.
Mac.
How you doing?
How you doing, brother? I'm here in New York. Right down the street, they riding right now, man. You know, I know you've been through. I know being in LA, you've been a part of that before. So it's like, you know, I think I'm a little too old to get involved in that. Just like Sheli said.
Right.
You know, I kind of like. I'm not going to really get in the mix either because I don't know what I would do, man. I'm a very passionate person, man. And, you know, I might get out there and, you know, all of a sudden somebody rub me the wrong way, be a cop or somebody. And God knows what'll happen, man. So I'm just, you know, I have young children, brother, so, but things is changing, man. Just look at 4 months ago, brother. And looking now, man, life is totally different, man. I tell you, I got your back. I got all black brothers back. Man. That's all. You know, what else am I really don't know what to say. I've never been this vulnerable before. You know what I mean? I've never been this vulnerable. So, you know, I don't have the answers, but all I know is I just stay aware and I'm chilling, man, because I know at any time I might have to fight. So right now I'm just keeping my composure and just taking it easy and just waiting to see what happens. Because you know what I mean, I'm definitely a black man. I love my black people, and I'm just black everything. What happened to that brother is a disgrace, and you know, what do you do? I mean, if I can't help the situation, I just, you know, I don't know what to do. Sometimes it just makes me want to go out there and hurt a white person, but that's not my heart. That's not my heart. But that goes through my head. That goes through my head.
I think that's what happens with a lot of our protesters, Big Tap. I think a lot of us, even me, I am not a violent person.
Right.
But I mean, even looking at Joylyn, look at this beautiful young lady. If she decides to go to a party or she decides to go visit a friend, how do I know that she's safe when a white police officer pulls her over? Even she's not even a black male. She's a black female. I want to even speak on that because I want to tell you, there are a lot of black women that have spoke out on being assaulted by police officers. So even Joylyn is not even safe to go to a party or to go visit a friend. Like, would get the power. Listen, the reason that violence sometimes takes place with police officers is because they have the power. So even if they have the power over a young black woman or a young black man, or an older black man at 46 years old, just like Joy, they have this thing about power.
But you want to hear
at some point, we are all vulnerable. At some point, we are all vulnerable. What do we do about it?
But they have the power, and that's definitely the case. But when you have that power, but you know that you're, you know, the black man is stronger than you, and he poses a threat because of, you know what I mean? When you got that power and he knows I'm still a man, he's scared. So that's why everything he do, a scared man is the one that'll kill you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Fear is the biggest.
That's the problem.
This negligence comes from they scared of us, and the reason why they scared us is because of the perception of us. You know what I mean? And that's because we have to have this, you know, this aura about ourselves. We're strong. I think when I'm walking around here, I know I'm a strong man. You know, I look at anybody in their eyes and I tell them, and it's like they know we can fight.
Yeah.
They know it. They know we can fight with our hands. So they can't be a man. A man will get down and throw blows, but they know we knocking people out. So they can't do that. They can't do that. So the best, and they don't like us. So they have power, Sheli, but they don't have power. Believe me, they don't have
power because they have a baton and a gun.
Right.
Because I can tell you this: most of the black men that they mess with will whoop their ass if they didn't have a gun or a baton. The power that they're hiding behind is the police station, the police organization. That's what they're hiding behind, because on the street, I will whoop your ass. I will whoop your ass.
But that's not in our heart, though. We're not thinking that.
It's not in our heart.
Do we need to put
it? A gun and a baton to deal with me.
Let me
That's your problem. Your problem is the fear. Your
Let me
problem.
interject real quick. Let me interject. I think people are being a little too nice. It's not so much fear. They hate us.
Yes.
They hate us and they're hiding behind institutional racism.
Amen.
They know that badge is going to protect them and they know the courts are going to protect them.
Yeah, but
You're definitely right, Kev Mac.
Right. Let me get you on some clear turf and just hands and fists. I will whoop your ass. That's what that's about.
Yeah.
I have a question relating to them possibly not being scared of us.
Okay, Drew.
Possibly.
Okay. If I think back to, let's say, the kidnapping from when they went to Africa and brought us all the way back and spread us throughout the world. I believe a lot of our ancestors rebelled big time. And I believe that when you hear stories about slavery, when they use the Bible against us, and when they did things such as bucking, many people will know what bucking is, to make a black man seem more weaker than what he really is. And then also, I think it was Big Tap or Kev that said, I think it was Big Tap, our presence, they fear us so much. They fear us so much. I feel like if I see a black man walking down the street because I'm black, I smile, I say, hey, but, we do notice someone clenching their purses, or, if some black person comes in the store and they may appear kind of thuggish, the way they dress or the way they talk or tattoo, I think there's some type of fear that they have automatically. And so sometimes you have them questioning us. Oh, how can I help you? And it's like, well, I know you ain't got the money to be up in here, so what you in here for? Sometimes they'll call the police or call security to kind of monitor the whole thing. They'll sit there and watch you and be behind you and do a lot of stuff. I think there is a fear that they have, and I also believe that once they're behind the badge, can nothing pretty much happen to them because all these policies, probable cause, all this other stuff. Right. So like Auntie Sheli said, if you didn't have a badge and you just bumped into me and you had a few couple words, I bet you, you and I would go head to head, toe to toe, and you would even try to use the law behind you. Only thing I could say is that I was protecting myself because I felt threatened, right? But when you're behind the badge, it's interesting that I can't feel threatened anymore when there's a gun to my face.
Right.
My
point exactly, Joylyn. My point exactly.
It's really interesting. So I think sometimes there is a big fear with African Americans.
There's certainly a fear, but I just don't want us to get lost and think that they love us.
Oh no.
No, they don't.
Kev Mac, I can't say all of them. Why, you made a statement and said I'm kind of nice. No, Kev, because I know that it's a fact that all of them know this.
Well,
so
I'm not saying when I say they, I'm not talking about white people. they that inflicted violence on innocent black people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, those are the ones that hate us. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that hate us. The ones where you see them, and what kills me is they're gonna find a way to get this brother, get this guy some type of reduced sentence. They're gonna find a way to not, him and his family's not gonna have to deal with what Floyd's family's gonna have to deal with. They're gonna find a way to have it for him to have some type of try to give him a normal life. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when they caught that guy from Connecticut, that young boy that killed them people, that young white kid. Did you see they was feeding him water? You see how they had my man on his neck, killing him, couldn't breathe. But the dude that just shot the two kids in college, when they caught his ass, they had him had because there was no type of violence, and they was giving him water like, you're tired. You see when that guy killed the people in church in South Carolina, they took them to McDonald's and crap like that. That's how you got. They show us that it's a different standard when it comes to us, Kevin Mac.
Oh, sir.
You know what I mean, brother? It makes you mad. It don't hurt me no more. Now that I know it, it just is what it is. But I still gotta go over that because I still do have people who are white who respect me and care about me. But I know some of them people looking at me like, they're not respecting me. They're not liking me at all. They hate me, like you said, brother. They hate me.
We have Homer Turner, everyone, from our Facebook feed. And Homer Turner says that I cannot express my anger and frustration, Jackie. They do what they do because there is a lack of punishment given to cops for their crimes against black people. It's just like no big deal.
Well, my thing is, how do you come up with the charge of manslaughter? Could somebody help me with that? So you arrest
third-degree murder, right? Which is manslaughter, okay.
Which is nothing.
Manslaughter is nothing. I don't know what happened to murder in the first degree?
No, it's never gonna happen. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Okay, murder in the first degree, that is like premeditated. They couldn't really find a way to say it was really premeditated. Second degree, I can see that. And I'm waiting to see why they didn't do second degree murder, but third degree is like, I don't understand it. And I don't understand why our politicians are not just jumping up, upset. They can stop. When if Obama did the thing, I just don't understand how Democrats, they let people get away. I just don't understand it. Because the people on the right, the Republicans, they take care, they do what they want to do. They ridicule my man Obama. He didn't say nothing. If Obama would have said a third of what Trump said, he would have been out that office. I just don't get it. How are we letting this dude say the things that he's doing or getting away with the things that he's doing? It's unbelievable. I don't get it.
Because our country's built on racism. It's built on that. For someone to say, I don't care about women, whatever. I just grab them by the you-know-what and kiss them. And every white woman feminist group cast her vote for him.
Wow.
Right?
I just think
it's got to be based on the fact that we had this black dude, and I'll vote for a chimpanzee before I vote for a black dude again.
No, but
right.
We voted for this black dude, right? That was so eloquent, so smart.
Absolutely.
Articulate.
It's like it made them so angry.
Mm-hmm.
They had to show us
an idiot.
We could get a baboon up there and do whatever you want. This is our world. I don't care how good you think your Obama was. I don't care how smart, how much you appreciated him. This is a white world. They're letting us know right now, with Trump involved, this is a white world. This is what it is right now. Because Obama was everything they always wanted from a white president, and he still didn't get his dad like he should have,
right?
Because he was black. But he was everything they wanted in a white president, but a black man. And then when they was coming at him so hard, and did you see how smooth he was? Never said nothing. Black people are supposed to get mad. Every time he says,
never faltered.
Never faltered.
Never faltered.
So they hate that. They like, why can't we get this dude to get mad? White people used to say something to me. I'm swinging. Well, I'm mad because I was ignorant. Obama was not ignorant. He wasn't like me. He taught me how to be like him. He showed all of us, all of us, Craig Mac, all of us. He showed us how to be elegant like him. And they hate that. They hate it. Trump he's trying to take that away from him right now. You notice how he speak about him every day. He's trying to take his legacy away so hard. But because Obama, he don't feed into it. So
we have a comment from our Zoom room. We have Taylor Rosales with us. She
Hello,
said,
Taylor.
It is disheartening because as an attorney, that white guy is getting a pass because manslaughter is nothing. Based on the overcrowding in jails and COVID, he will not even see a prison and will be in protected class where he will be privileged. The system is created against us. So unfortunately, even justice, and she puts that in parentheses, in the courts will be nothing that is needed.
That is what I was trying to tell you. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. Unbelievable.
Well, I don't know. What are you thinking, Kev Mac? How you feeling about it right now?
Again, like I said, the system is behind them.
What are we doing?
The courts are behind them. Everything is in defense of the white police officers. Yeah. So we'd be lucky to get anything more than a third degree or manslaughter. And I don't want to make excuses for the district attorney putting charges on this guy, but I think it was third degree because it'll be easier to convict him of that than it would be first or second degree murder. But I expect it to be bumped up to second degree and those other officers charged.
Yeah. Kev, do you think that they went for third degree because that was the easiest thing or the quickest thing that they can get him on? Do you think that that's the reason why they did that?
Yeah, most certainly. I believe that's why. But at the same time, it could be just an excuse because all of us on here right now, we know what we've seen, and that was an intentional murder.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. No, it's cold-blooded intent. And then the fact that they know each other, I'm thinking there's probably going to be more discovery. That's just kind of like a little gut feeling. If
work together.
Come on, so just the fact that you work with this dude, where's the human kindness? Where's that? You know what I'm saying? Even if your police tactics didn't kick in, just as a humanistic perspective. Right. I'm thinking there's probably more to that.
The human part of that's the part that gets me. The human part.
Hey, Kev Mac, Taylor from our Zoom room, she says she agrees with you. She thinks they went with the third degree to charge him and to show that they are trying to make justice.
Right. Key word, trying.
Right.
To calm the protest, to calm everybody else down, because these motherfuckers need to be in jail. That's that part. Well,
guys, I have a question. I mean, I can't help but think, a kid, growing up in California, and we got the '92 Rodney King riots. That was a video beating and lynching as well, right? And nothing came of that. Do we think this video will be different?
I think that is why there is the reaction that there is today across the United States. because we've tried to do it peacefully. We've tried to do it through the judicial system. We've tried to tell you what is happening, and you're not listening. So
now we gotta act a fool.
It's the right thing. I'm not saying I'm condoning it because I'm not out there doing it. But hey, can I condone my brothers and sisters for doing that? Because we can't get justice any other way. So how can I get you to understand that this shit ain't right?
You go and loot Louis Vuitton stores. That's what you go and do.
I got it. So, what does looting solve, guys?
I ain't going to Louis Vuitton. I go to China. China, as our president would say. No, I'm not fucking with you.
I don't know. Is looting an act of frustration?
Yeah, people just I think people just tired. It's like, fuck it, let's go for it. Fuck it, this is what we doing. And you know what we doing. And your like gut instinct kick in.
Yes. Why should
Does anyone know who's running these protests? How do they know where to go and where to have them at? Who's running the protests?
Who's running the what?
The protests.
The protests.
Like the organizers.
I think it begins, and again, I'm watching the media. Who knows?
Hey guys, I'm watching the media in LA right now, and now they are across the street from the Beverly Center.
I told you.
Keep going that way. Keep going that way. On the right target.
They're on their way to the Louis store.
I told you. Because they hit the one in Atlanta. Man. They did. They got that one.
Keep going. 5903, South Orlando.
Don't start.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know, y'all.
All the shops across the street from the Beverly Center.
Right.
There's an 8:00 p.m. curfew, though, Chris Fisher reports. So I don't know.
8 o'clock? We're on curfew now, the whole county of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Did you know about that?
Fisher says that there will be arrests for those who are not inside at 8. What do you think of that, Kev Mac?
Well, they have to do something to restore order, but that's just more targeting of our people.
Right?
That's gonna get them more upset.
Yeah, because they're gonna go and arrest black people that are out the street. That's what they're gonna do. I've always believed, and I maintain that the majority of police departments are really out to give young blacks felonies to keep them from owning weapons and getting good jobs and stuff like that.
You know what's so sad to me as well? Sometimes I do see black officers give black men a hard time the same way white officers do.
Most certainly. I got an uncle. Let me share a story with you guys real quick. I have an uncle that grew up in Windsor Hills. You know, some people call it the Black Beverly Hills. Never got in trouble. Never did anything wrong. And he became a police officer. And he purposely, and he'll tell you himself, he purposely targeted black gang members. And, you know, having nephews that were gang members, we would always ask him, you know, what's his problem? Why does he do it? And he would always justify it. Until he became a victim of the police department and got fired, he woke up. And he seen what we had been telling him for years, that they were just using him and brainwashing him to be like them. And when he was no longer brainwashed, they didn't hesitate to fire him. And so now he's been living in distress. He's been mentally unstable ever since they fired him because he just couldn't believe it.
It's horrible.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Guys, we have Tanya Michelle has joined us. Tanya, you there?
Looks like she's muted though. It looks like.
Unmute. You there, Tanya?
Okay, while we wait on Tanya, let me explain something about what I meant by targeted black gang members.
Absolutely.
This is what he told me. If you had a sister, a girlfriend, a wife, or a mother, and you were a drug dealer or a hardcore gang member, he would target the females in the family. Give you guys tickets, bogus tickets.
What I brought up earlier.
Pull you over, try to get information from you, try to search your car, and that's what he would do. from his point of view, and with I forget the name of the person that does the meetings with the police, like a sergeant or lieutenant or whatever, and they would tell them, let's hit them in their pockets. You know, if they paying ticket after ticket after ticket, eventually it would hurt them, and they would move out the community or try to get the person and the family member selling drugs to tone it down.
Wow. That's what I brought up earlier about like maybe Joyland or Jontel or Nico or Taylor. They could be out innocently going from place to place. They still mess them too. It's just on a different scale.
Yeah, they think it's cool. They think it's
whatever they can get away with, even if they can sexually assault or touch them in a way that they should not. Whatever they feel they can get away with because they have the power behind the badge, the baton, and the gun.
This is some crazy stuff. I don't know, guys.
Hey, Tanya, are you there? I think I see you. Can you hear us? I guess you still can't hear us. You there, Tanya?
Every time Taylor says. I don't know.
Yeah, I see you. You see us?
We gotta talk.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
She's trying.
Okay. Lord, we gotta talk to Kev Mac about his 2015 publishing. You're an author as well.
Absolutely. 2015.
Oh, that was you're talking about the book. Right?
Yep.
The book. Right.
I think we're having a better conversation. Sprung was just my life as a gambler, an addiction to gambling. To me, it just doesn't get a lot of attention. It's just as bad as being addicted to nicotine or any drugs like PCP or crack cocaine or heroin, because I would go to almost any extent to get some money so I could go gamble. So it caused a career of criminal activity for me to fund my gambling habit. And there were some ups and some downs, but I like to focus on the downs because when you end up in court, let's say for a robbery or burglary, you don't get off lightly because you're a gambler, but you might get off lightly for using drugs. They have drug programs for you, and in federal prison they let you get out early if you're part of a drug program, but they don't have that. Gamblers don't get out early. You know, they're subjected to the more harsher of penalties than somebody on drugs. And so I just thought I would bring light to that, you know, some of the good and some of the bad behind gambling.
All right, that's a great word. You know, to go inside yourself and to share with that's very powerful, you know, and to share. I like that. What about respect? We were talked about, I had wanted to talk a little bit about it, and we don't have to, we can keep going, but I just wanted to bring it up because my sister get me. Those two words, Kev Mac, respect and love, but actually based on the conversation, I'd like us to add a third word, fear. Respect, love, and fear. Which would you say is the most powerful in terms, just the most powerful out the gate, and then we'll break them on down.
Well, let me say this. About 2 days ago, approximately 2 days ago, I got the message from you that would be the topic. And for 2 or 3 days, I really can't tell you which one is more important to me. Because, I don't know, I come from a loving mother, despite the choices I made in life, and sisters and grandmother were just as loving. And I would like to be loved more than anything, but unfortunately, the culture that we come from and our people, love is a lot of times looked at as weakness. Fear, as you guys alluded to in other terms, fear will get you killed.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be feared by no human being.
Okay.
And respect is great. So of the three, I would have to say respect, probably, because unfortunately, and I'm saying unfortunately, not fortunately, but in our communities, respect is big. The person that's most respected, like I was saying about the people I choose to interview, they have the bigger voices more times than not. And those are more times than not our leaders by default. So, and sometimes you need that respect because we can't get anything done without respect. If people don't respect you, they'll walk over you and they won't listen to nobody, which you all should know that we have a problem in the Black communities with leadership. And so anytime we can have somebody that's respected enough to be a leader in our community, I mean, that's to be applauded, even though sometimes the energy is not directed in the right place, but it's a start.
Sheli C., what about you? Respect, love, fear. Where do you fall?
Respect, love, and fear. And sometimes I think they all go hand in hand. Respect, I think we should all respect one another, no matter what color, race, creed. I think we should respect the human race. And it seems like it's not respected. The human race is not respected. Love. We should love one another. I mean, if we look in the Bible, we love our neighbor as ourselves. And fear is not the spirit of God. And I know that most of us in the race that we're in, the human race, we should have a love and concern for God, but we have fear because we have the devil lurking on the earth, and we have to be able to address that fear. And how we address that fear depends on if we live or die.
Wow.
That would be my take.
Okay, Sheli, I was mesmerized. I want to bring some commentary from our Facebook Live. We have Queen Jean from the fabulous G. Lou Show with us joining us. We have Toy Cloy and Jerry Brown. But that being stated, Jerry Brown says that he tends to think that love would be the most pertaining and powerful of the three. And Toy Cloy tells us that you don't have to love me, but you're going to have to respect me. Period. Point blank, you know. And Terry Lampkin's in the house, and she's also voting for respect. Lloyd G., do you have something you want to add before any other panelists on those three?
I think for me, of those three, it would be respect would be number one for me, because I think like our last listener, Facebook listener says, you don't have to love me, but I think that you do have to respect me, right? And if we're living in a respectful place, I think then it's easier to turn our attention to love, right? That we can love each other because we're respecting each other and we're being equitable with each other, and we're being fair and kind, as Sheli said, providing that human kindness. And I tend to believe love definitely conquers all of the fear, right? I think fear is just a place of the unknown. It is stemmed out of difference, out of things that we don't understand, right? And because we don't understand them, we fear them. But if we start from a place of love, I believe love develops a sense of curiosity. It makes us curious about how the other person exists in the world, are curious about so many different things. And if we become curious, there's no room to be fearful.
Okay, that was beautiful. Beautifully said. Joy Lynn, what do you think of Love Bug? And then we're going to go to Big Tapper.
I agree with everyone, but I'm huge respect.
Respect.
I'm very not. Like, for an example, in the workplace, I like you, but I'm gonna respect because you're my elder. I'm gonna respect you because you're my boss. I'm gonna respect you because you're a woman, a man. That's just where I'm at. You may not respect me and respect everyone that's attached to me. And I feel like once we establish respect, I do believe that I can eventually end up loving someone. You know, depending on our relationship, and also with fear. I mean, I fear God the most. You know, that's just who I am. And oh, there goes Tanya Michelle.
Hey, Tanya.
My mom. What was I saying?
The fear of God.
And I do agree with you, God, mommy. If I don't really know anything, I become fearful of it because it's a fear of unknown. And everyone likes to be somewhat in control of something, or also like to know what's going on. But out of those three, I respect is number one.
Mr. Gerald Tapper. Respect, love, fear. Where do you fall on the spectrum?
Well, to me, those three words are powerful. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, wow, how do we even come across those words in this conversation? But now we're here.
Amen.
Those three words we deal with periodically. It seems like in my life, at one time or another, I'm dealing with one of those words. And recently, I've been dealing with fear because I had told your sister, Lord G, that I was bitten by the COVID bug. And it scared the living. It just scared me. And fear, just as a man, when you think life is great and everything, and then you deal with adversity like that, it's just a totally different change. And that alone can kill you. And it just made you just deal with a whole nother way of dealing with fear. Because fear might not come up, and when fear comes up, that's a situation you got to deal with. When fear comes up, you got to deal with it. When love comes up, people sometimes love is like right now, love is with my family. I don't, it's how you interpret love. Right? You can interpret love with, I can love you guys like I love you, Jackie. I love you because I know you guys. And that's a love. That's a different type of love. You know what I mean? Love, we can, it comes in different stages. You love your mom, of course. You love, I'm not in love right now. I went through a breakup. So that's another whole thing that I'm going through. And then respect you learn every day about that word. Never be serious in your life because you may not never make moves and move up because people always put me in a situation where, a lead situation, and I love people. I'm a people person. And it is, if I'm set the lead, and then I put myself and my peers, if I do things that where I'm supposed to be the leader, and then I'm playing around with the workers, like it puts me on the same level. They're not going to respect. You know what I mean? So therefore, I try to get along with everybody. And trying to be the man and trying to, not be this big boss and trying to not be this, this big figure and, just trying to, get along with everybody. And sometimes you don't get the respect like that. You know what I mean? Just don't get the respect. So I'm going through all these adversities that we're talking about right now. Right now, my whole life, I don't even think it's just COVID. I think this is just the stars. I think this is life. I'm going through transition, some crazy transitioning. And you know what, y'all? It kind of feels good because I'm dealing with it. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people don't have their jobs. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people, but I'm fighting everything off. I'm still hanging in there. And my kids is good, and you know, and I have a chance to, really loving me was a fear because, it's like I would always, Lori would be hurt, so I would give myself to Lori or Jackie or Sheli. I always was there for everybody, but I was never there for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I was forced almost to be there for me because my wife left me. Things is happening in the world today. Or just all kind of things is going on. And now I take care of me. And it kind of feels good, y'all. All my attention is on me. And I realize, damn, I'm not a bad person. Because, I used to, I used to be an asshole. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Thank you, Tap. I said, I know how you do, Tap.
Thank you, Tap. We have a caller, guys.
Yes, we do.
We have Homer who's calling in. Homer, can you hear us?
Homer Turner. Hey, Homer.
Okay, Homer, you're on the air.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you're talking on the same subject which I was talking on earlier about the feeling of our people.
Yes.
But I thought it was very important for me to call in and just let y'all know who we are. A lot of us don't know who we are. And if we just knew who we was, we would think a lot more highly of ourselves. Even though the world makes us feel low, we are the chosen people of the Most High.
Amen.
When I say y'all, I'm talking about in the book of Genesis, it was already prophesied that we was going to go through everything that we're going through now. In the book of Genesis, y'all is telling Abraham, you can be sure that your descendants will be strangers in a foreign land.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Lori G, you got that?
Foreign land.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we will not be foreign. Let me start over.
Okay.
God said to Abraham, you can be sure that your descendants will be strangers in a foreign land. They will be as slaves for 400 years. And those descendants, we are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are the chosen people of the Most High. We were set above all nations until we broke the covenant with Almighty Yah. We wouldn't give them for that false idol.
Okay. Thank you so much, Homer. We really appreciate that and appreciate those comments.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, Homer.
Okay.
Okay. Now, there are also good news. Throughout Scripture, Yah is calling out to us. Turn away from our wicked ways. Okay, but what wicked ways? To clearly understand what wicked ways he's talking about, go to the Ten Commandments and look at the first two commandments. The very first two commandments, and look at what the very first two commandments is. The first commandment is, thou shalt not put up before me. Okay? The second commandment is, thou shalt not worship false idols. Okay, so meditate on those two commandments right there alone before you even start thinking about it. Okay, and also in the book of Deuteronomy 1 through 10, that's the good news. God's telling us that He's going to deliver us out of captivity when we turn from our ways and turn back to Him. So when you get a chance, just go to Deuteronomy chapter 30 and read 1 through 10.
Okay. We will definitely do that, Homer. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Deuteronomy chapter What was the chapter again?
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1 through 10.
Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1 through 10, guys. Thank you so much, Homer. We appreciate it. Have a good night.
Woo!
All
We
right.
got a very special guest, Lori G. You got to do the honors?
I think you should do the honors.
I'm so honored.
We are so honored.
The Mr. Kevin Nash is in the house tonight, everybody. Hi.
You guys were talking about me. I had no clue.
My
Put
mentor.
my hands together for the special guest. Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Hey.
Kevin Nash, 3 years. Yikes Radio. Did you even, what does that feel like? Did you even know without me harassing you like a stalker other than that?
No, I listen. I recognize the passion that you had for radio, and so I'm not shocked or surprised about it. You know, plus time is zooming by so very, very fast, it's going by so crazy. But it's just it lets me know and lets the whole world know how much you love radio, how much you love people and doing what you do. This is actually my 38th year on the radio. Can you believe that? 38.
Kevin, that's
38
beautiful.
years, so I get it. I mean, if you've been infected with that bug.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Kevin. You know, you asked me that my second interview, and you looked at me. You go, "Oh, yeah, you got this," and you goes, "When did you get infected?" It's contagious.
It is contagious, like I said, and I don't feel anyways tired at all. I mean, I am not tired of it. I look forward to it on a daily basis. But during these times, it's very, very difficult to do our job. Though I was mentioning that on the radio last week. It's very, very tough to do what we do. You know, to keep people inspired, encouraged, uplifted. You know, when you actually witness the devastation that's been placed on our people, you know, and I've always tried my best to be just the voice of reason, the voice of calm, you know, for the past 20 years at KJLH. And when you text me to come on the show, the reason why it took me so long to respond, because I was just so emotionally, spiritually depleted, you know, and still trying to find some energy and something from God to give me right now so I can move forward. But it's some crazy dark times right now. It's crazy, you know, but I do believe that God has placed us in this position and given us this platform, not to be timid, not to run, but he's going to give us information, and we are in this position to deliver that message and that information that God wants us to deliver to his people. You know, but it's these are tough times. These are tough times. You know?
Kevin, throughout your career in radio, do you recall a time similar to this? What about the riots? Did it feel this way, or is this like something much more?
I wasn't here then. I wasn't here in Los Angeles during those times. I was, you know, I'm not from LA. You know, I'm from a little country town called Lake Charles, Louisiana. But I think I was in the Bay Area during the riots here in Los Angeles, and so I didn't quite feel what you guys felt here, and didn't feel what I feel now. You know, it was actually tough to make this Zoom call tonight. You know, just watching the events unfold. But you know, going back to just my spiritual training, you know, I do believe that God has called me for this position. You know, I work for him. I do believe that he is sovereign, that he is God all by himself, that he knows exactly what he's doing, that even during a time like this, we should not lean to our own understanding. You know, this is not 2020 to God. So I'm trying my best to see it the way he sees it. You know, God has to sign off on everything. So I know this has not caught him off guard or caught him, you know, by surprise. He knows exactly what he's doing. One of my favorite scriptures that all things are working together, for our good. So no matter what it looks like right now, just the human side of me, just as, Jesus was struggling to make it to the cross. He's like, hey, look, if there's a way to remove this cup, hey, please do it. You know what I mean? I mean, he was stressing out. And that's the human side. And like I said, that human side of me is saying, man, it looks impossible to get through, But knowing what I know about him, about God, he's going to cover us, he's going to protect us, and he's going to see us through this thing.
Amen. Thank you, Kevin. Kev Mac, where are you? How are you feeling about everything right now? We got Kevin Nash on the scene. Lori, the mic on Kev Mac is off a little. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm going to just go Kevin Nash. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
I was reading the scripture tonight. It's crazy. I mean, how God gives you certain things, and I still know for a fact that this time is still very valuable. That we have to maximize every moment, right? Yes. In Isaiah 10, beginning at the first verse, it says, "Woe to those who make unjust laws." Now, according to what I know about what woe means, hey, here's a warning to you. Here's a warning. He says, woe to those. I'm warning you, to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees to deprive the poor of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed of my people, making widows their prey and robbing the fatherless. What will you do on the day of reckoning?
I gonna get it.
When disaster comes from afar. Look at that. He says, what will you do on the day? He's not talking to us. He's talking about the ones who's causing the oppression. What will you do on the day of reckoning when disaster comes from afar? To whom will you run for help? Where will you leave your riches? I was watching television not too long ago. Officers are putting their lives on the line right now, trying to protect Beverly Hills.
Wow.
Trying to protect Beverly Hills. They're putting their lives on the line. Like, oh no, don't come to Beverly Hills. Where would you leave your riches? Nothing remain but to cringe among the captives or fall among the slain. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. Things tend to repeat itself over and over and over again. So right now what we're witnessing is just a day of reckoning. Yeah. I just came on to say hello, everybody. Congratulations and happy anniversary. That's it.
Thank you, Kevin. No,
you're so deep.
I love right.
I apologize.
No, I'm glad you came. So glad you came. Everyone in the Zoom room says, "Hey, Kevin. Kevin's amazing."
Hey, how y'all doing? But I'm so very proud of you guys. Thank you so much for bringing some quality program to Accelerated Radio Network and to being the queen of Yikes Radio, of course.
I'm like, Kevin.
and I like the fact that when you kick off the show every Saturday, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, that go my girl
that's
right
it.
there.
You already know.
You pumping it up. So
that's
I
it.
Appreciate that. Thank you for being so loyal, especially during these days, these times. And God has really blessed the network. I know a lot of networks folded, but we're still going. I think out of 50 shows we had, I think we only lost about 3 shows.
Amen.
So God has really, really blessed Accelerated Radio. It has a lot to do with, I want to make sure that even, just the people I work with do the right thing. I understand a thing or two of, how the universe actually works. That it keeps a very accurate account of everything that you do, good or bad. So it's important that we plant good seeds. You know what I mean? Good seeds, and with Accelerated Radio, that's what it's about. I don't do bad business. I do not do bad business at all. It has to be on the straight and narrow because I want God to keep his hand And I thank you for being a part of that. Your entire crew, your entire family, the Poetry of Justice show. Thank you guys for what you bring to the table.
Bless you, and thank you too, Kevin. That made my life. I feel very honored tonight, everyone. This, I prayed, I really did, and I thank God, because you're right, Kevin. You know, God is always in the mix, and everything I can tell everyone is just God is with us. But Lord, I said, Lord, I know you were so busy, and I bless you for returning the text. And I told Lori G, I said, Lori, I don't know, I know Kev, you know Kev. I was like, but Lord, let's just send it anyway. Let's just send the link. Just in case. And then I just planted the seed. Like, I was like, dear Lord, and I let it go. And then as we're sitting here tonight, I'm like, no! Yeah!
Now, you know I wouldn't let anybody do that. I would not let, no, come on now. I don't care if I was sick.
No.
I don't care if I would never use an excuse I was tired or sleepy. No, if I give you my word I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
I know.
Absolutely.
God bless you. Thank you so much. Tanya Michelle, you have any questions for Mr. Nash tonight?
I don't join us. I'm sitting here thinking about what he was saying, and it's just so profound in this time, and how, kind of history in the Bible is kind of repeating itself and showing itself to be what it is. It's manifesting a lot of things, and, just trying to see how this is going to play out, because, even when I was young in church, it was like, God is coming. He's coming. They've been saying it for years. And then as you get older and you look at the Bible and you start seeing the technology and all these things that are happening, you're like, I think we're really closer than the old people thought back then. They would always say it, but now you kind of feel like you're right up on it. So, I was listening to everything, and I just think it was so profound and just so needed. What you said, and I think it's very, it just touches my heart when you hear that kind of spirituality come from a man, especially from a Black man who's in tune with God and who's willing to speak about the Bible. And I mean, it just sets the tone for so many others who are looking at you. So thank you for that. Being a man to speak the wisdom and to talk about it, and being willing to share that, because you just never know who you touch or what man or person may not want to be in tune to that side and may be more in tune to this, because you were open and you were vulnerable enough to share, how you were feeling at this moment. So we appreciate that.
No problem. No problem.
Lori G.
Well, I don't want to take too much of your show. Go ahead and continue having a wonderful show, everybody. I think you have about maybe 10 minutes left. And I'm going to get back to my editing. I'm doing a special. I don't know if you guys heard about the KJLH Quarantine Concert Series that I'm doing every night on KJLH at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So I have all these special guests coming on. So I've had Anthony Hamilton, Tamar Braxton, who else? CeeLo Green, Kenny Lattimore, James, Howard Hewitt, Frank McComb. So it's them doing their live music, doing a live concert on the air from 9 to 10 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. And it's very draining because I'm the one-man band. Since the station's been kind of closed down for the past 2.5 months, I've been booking everything, producing it, writing out the interviews, being a publicist, all of the above. So this week I have Ro James will be on with me Monday night.
Okay.
But I pre-taped it yesterday. So it's all videotaped, and we're running it back on Radio Free TV and plus the FM. And the legendary Sheila E. going to be on Tuesday night.
Love her.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's a beautiful.
Love her.
Beautiful. The glamorous life.
All the editing and all that stuff to make sure it looks real nice, sharp, and proper for our Radio Free TV and for our FM too for next week. So, great.
Well, Kevin, our Zoom room said they will all be listening.
Appreciate that. 9 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. I think it's probably the best station on the planet.
It definitely is.
Well, yeah. It absolutely is. But that's how I feel about Yikes. That's my Yikes, you know what I mean?
There we go.
I'll ride, I'll die for it too. I'm up on my Yikes.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah, I know.
Is that aired in New York too?
Well, there's we got the KJLX mobile app. So if you're outside of LA, you can always download the KJLX mobile app. It's free. Plus, we're on Alexa. You can go to the website as well, kjlhradio.com, listen online. every radio station is worldwide now with this technology.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Kev Mac and the gang. We'll see you guys. All right.
All right,
All right,
Kevin.
All right. Protect yourselves at all times, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you when I look at you.
You got it, Kev.
All right. Now. All right. Bye bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Dante says, later, boss man. All right, guys. Kev Mac in the house. Kevin Nash in the house. Lori G. Sheli C. Tanya Michelle. Joy Lynn. And, of course, Big Tapper all the way from the NYC. Speaking about respect, love, power. That was love we just experienced. That time with Kevin Nash. And respect. I respect Kevin. I respect this time. There's love and then there's respect. But for me, there's always love for me. I always have love as that center core within me. But sometimes I have found most recently in life, the love, because love for me, I think is so powerful. It can go both ways on you, right? Al Green sings to us and says, love can make you do wrong, and it can make you do right. Tanya Michelle, I see you. Be good. I'm serious. I'm going here. But then respect, because in love, you could go too far with love. I tend to think, but with respect, I found this in some relationships. If I respect you, you can tell, oh, I love you. People tell you, I love you. Now, I don't know if sometimes it's watered down versions of it, but respect. For me, if I respect you, that's a whole nother get down for me. Because I can love you and we can play and my heart and my core and I don't know if that's the maternal, the mother thing. But when I get to respect, I need that. I need that from like a humanistic perspective. I need it because I'm a woman. I need it because I want respect. It's a street thing. I don't really know necessarily one particular thing, but respect is really big. And I tend to think, I know we talked a little bit earlier, there was some commentary, is if you have that respect, the love is associated with that basic respect. I don't know. I think I need that, because people can say they love you and then they'll kill you, and I'm thinking like, we have so many fatal attraction cases, domestic violence scenarios, things of that regard. But sometimes if a person respects you, you get a different outcome. I know Lori Mama used to always say, you may not like me, but you damn sure gonna respect me. Using that, is it okay to demand respect? Kev Mac, I know we kind of limited on time, and I know with all the things you do and all the people you have interviewed and come across in your culture and genre of what it is you're so good at, when we come to respect, is this something that should be given, or at some point do you have to fucking take it? This nigga playing me, so I'm gonna have to gaffle that ass. I'm just wondering, how does that work?
You can start off giving respect, but what is it that you really respect until you get to know a person or have some dealings with the person? Mm-hmm. So I think you, for the most part, you have to demand the respect and give respect when respect is given.
Bingo. What you think, Lori G?
I definitely agree that you have to give respect to get respect back. I don't think you can take respect. I think what you can do is you can create fear. So people will fear you, and that person might be able to misinterpret that as respect, but it's really coming from a place of fear because you have hurt them or you have power over them. I think respect is something that is earned. It's earned through our works, and it's earned as to how we exist in the world and what we put out into the world is, in my opinion, true respect.
Okay. I like that. What about you, Sheli Belly?
Lori G, in some respects, because I believe I come from a place of respect. I come from a place of respect with everyone that I deal with. But at some point, if you're you're not returning it, I have to demand it. And if I demand it, by any means necessary.
That part, right. And is that where the fear comes in, though, Lori? You feel me, though? Is that where the fear tactic comes in? So sometimes they all just kind of go together. They all kind of morph.
But I think sometimes it's like, okay, you can gaffle me up and make me do what you want me to do, and then every time you come around, I'm Johnny jump to it, right? And that's because I fear you, not so much as I respect you. But if I fear you, if somebody comes along with a bigger gun or a bigger fist or a bigger this, and they pound on me, then I done disband from you, and I'm on to the next person that has the bigger stick of fear. If I respect you, no matter who comes along and intimidates me, I still maintain that respect for you because you didn't take it. I freely decided to give it to you because I control what I respect. Right? That's the one thing that no one else can control. I have the power over that.
I agree.
That's what I think.
Well said, Lori G.
Well said, Lori G. Queen Jean says she agrees with you, Lori G. So respect. It looks like respect is our winner tonight, Kev Mac. You know what I mean? It looks like people want respect over love and fear. False evidence that appears to be real is what some of our Facebook followers have said. And, blessings to the show, everybody. But Kev Mac, could you let, again, our listeners know, my listeners know more about you and how to get in touch with you and all of your amazing live streams that you do?
I do a lot of interviews on the history of gangs in Los Angeles. I published a magazine in 2005, all the publications where I gave people a voice, people in urban communities a voice, and undiscovered talent, rapping, singing, whatever, fixing up cars, motorcycles, whatever it is. A chance to be seen and discovered and heard. And in 2015, I wrote a book called about my life dealing with gambling, the ups and downs of gambling, addiction part of it, and what comes with that. And I know we gotta go, so I'm gonna say happy anniversary to you guys.
Thank you.
Poetry Justice Show, and I want to thank you, Jackie, for inviting me on, and everybody on the phone for making me feel comfortable.
Thank you so much for your time tonight, Kev Mac. We know you're very busy, but one day I'm hoping you'll come back and see us again,
Now, I just want to say, you guys, don't be distracted of what's going on today in this world.
Okay. We won't be distracted. No distractions.
No distractions.
Thank you so much.
Kev Mac. We appreciate your time.
All righty. Sign on out.
Nice talking to you, Kev.
I'm here.
All right, everybody. That's us.
We appreciate you joining us all the way from the NYC.
Nice talking to you, Sheli. And
all right.
Janae.
Yes, definitely, Big Cat.
Nice to meet you.
No, good to see you guys.
All right, everybody. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Be good. We'll be back. See you next week.
See you next week.
Love you, Tapper. Be safe.
Very nice. Very nice.
I love
Thanks,
you.
Lloyd.
See you later, girl.
Thank you so much, Facebook. Thank you so much for following us. We appreciate it so much. So we had a great show. I had a good time here. The Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay Phillips. We've got the amazing ladies of the chat tonight. Michelle is in the house with the lovely Joy with her. And of course, we've got that beautiful Sheli C. and my amazing big sister, Lori G, a.k.a. the Benefactor. So we always have a good time. But again, 3 years on Yikes Radio, parent company, Accelerated Radio. These are all products of the Mr. Kevin Nash, and was blessed to have my mentor with me tonight. That meant so much to me. And again, I'm going to give another round of shout outs to our sponsorship. Again, the ladies of the chat. They are an amazing team of women. And you catch the ladies of the chat each third Saturday of the month. come in, we bring our heart and soul. We've had an array of topics, and we have an amazing time on that platform. Again, that's Lori G, Sheli C, Tanya Michelle. We have a blast. And then I'd like to give a shout out to Tweed Cadillac, 93.Tweed FM ism, Thursday nights. And ladies and gentlemen, as you know how we do it, a whole new piece of music and releases just dropped of G. Lou, Lori G, the fabulous G. Lou show. Shows. This guy is the brand and the man. It goes all over the place. You've got him on West Side Wednesday nights. You got him. And then you've also got him on Friday nights, which is Flashback Fridays, everybody. And then you've got the G. Lou Show podcast that usually drops on Saturdays and Sundays. My favorite is the Sunday Night Lowrider Oldies. So you want to definitely check out the G. Lou Show. And then again, love, honor, respect to WMPJ Steelwork. That is this Man of Steel, as well as APS Muscle Cars. Shout out to MEMO, Mimo, Lori G, the Brotherhood. We have those Brotherhood. We got to get them coming back. Lori's going to try to get us a date so we can honor our amazing, beautiful black men, our kings out there. So everybody, please stay safe. Whatever that means, you just kind of go with that gut instinct. We're going to always love one another. We're going to respect one another. We all just got to stay together and make these things happen together. We're all in it together. And I agree. We know that there is something bigger than us, the Spirit of the living God. And we are his chosen people. So let's just continue to pray our Psalms 23, Psalms 91, and do what we do best. Love, respect, and we're going to have a good night. Sounds good?
Good night.
Good night, everybody.